Welcome back, everyone. Watching episode 7, titled Elevating the Everyday, made something crystal clear to me. Meghan Markle seems desperate. Not desperate to connect with us, the everyday audience, but desperate for approval, validation, and admiration from her wealthy, famous friends, in my opinion. Throughout this series, especially in this episode, she acts like she's granting us special access to privileged, invitation-only lifestyle. And honestly, it feels like accidentally walking into someone else's private party when you watch her series. It's as if we clicked on a secret password-protected video intended for her rich inner circle, not us mere peasants. And oh boy, does she make sure we don't forget it. Are we supposed to be inspired or jealous? Because honestly, I'm still trying to figure that out. Anyways, let's get into the details because there's a lot to unpack. Let's get started. Hello everyone, I'm Star Chairs, and in this channel, we analyze video through the lens of PR. The episode opens with Meghan's distinctive penmanship, telling us about her friend Vicky coming over, someone she claims to have known for years. Immediately, Meghan informs us she'll be creating a harvest basket for Vicky. She strolls through her extensive garden wearing a casual Northwestern sweatshirt and jeans. A deliberate wardrobe choice meant to subtly remind us of her relatable past. Remember her college days. Though it comes off as another calculated attempt at authenticity because that sweater is in brand new condition. Meghan is so calculated. As we follow Meghan into her lush, dreamy garden, where she casually strolls through deciding what to harvest or what is ready to harvest. For the lemons, she carefully leaves some of the stems to make them more aesthetically pleasing. She selects lavender from her garden. She carefully points out she has an abundance and even suggests we tie a ribbon around lavender bundles so people know exactly what they're getting. You know, just in case your friends confuse lavender for broccoli. But here's the PR angle. Meghan takes a moment to humbly acknowledge that not everyone has a garden like hers. This is a very strategic PR move to appear relatable, reminding us that she's just a normal mother, even though she has a lush garden big enough to feed half a Montecito. It's as if she wants to scream, "Look, I'm just like you." Yet anyone with 2 eyes and a grocery bill knows the truth. No, Meghan, you're really not. So she's showing her privilege, but sprinkling in tiny disclaimers to avoid seeming Teflon. Unfortunately for Meghan, it doesn't work. In the following scene, Meghan is assembling her harvest basket for Vicky, emphasizing how grounded and successful her friend is. If you don't know, Vicky founded Tatcha, which later sold for $500 million, which is $500 million. Yes, billion with a B. Meghan tells us that Vicky is grounded, the person she goes to for most things. Did you catch that? Because here's where Meghan's narrative begins to crumble. Notice how she leaves the statement incredibly vague, never specifying if she seeks actual business advice from Vicky. And why would she? Meghan's numerous business ventures have flopped, suggesting she might suffer from what PR folks call forever student syndrome, constantly studying, learning, and observing successful people without ever actually implementing those lessons effectively herself. From my perspective, this vague wording is purposeful. She can't say outright that she goes to Vicky for business advice because that would draw attention to her many failed ventures. Instead, Meghan remains vague, relying on the aura of success Vicky brings, hoping it would somehow rub off on her by association. This got me thinking. Meghan appears to be stuck in student mode, consistently soaking up information from people around her, but rarely successfully executing it herself. She's someone who has clearly reached a financial level where everything from gardening, cooking, childcare to beekeeping is outsourced, allegedly. Considering her lavish garden, for instance, She probably outsources its maintenance because anyone who has had a genuine interest and passion about gardening knows how demanding hard work it is. From soil chemistry to pest control to organic gardening practice, real gardening requires serious dedication and effort. Meghan, however, outsources all these things. And that detachment from the actual work is probably the reason her ventures are falling flat, in my opinion. Meghan, with her staff and financial resources, probably never touches the dirt beyond an Instagrammable photo op. This is indicative of her approach of life and business, outsourcing real labor while attempting to claim authenticity. It just doesn't work. She has to get her hands dirty, but she doesn't do that. She seems so desperate to emulate her wealthy friends that she forgets those friends built their fortunes by appealing to everyday people, the very audience Meghan can't seem to connect with. So Meghan desperately wants validation from her successful wealthy peers, but misses the crucial PR lessons her peers have already learned. She must connect with the general public, us peasants right here, to become genuinely successful. Every major entrepreneur or celebrity Meghan admires has built their success by resonating with the mass audiences, not just by curating elite approval. But Meghan's intent on impressing only those above her in status, misunderstanding where true success lies. So it would be wise if Meghan could learn a valuable lesson here. Successful brands resonate because they make ordinary people like you and me feel special, not excluded. Moving along, Meghan continues assembling the lavish basket, so enormous and elaborate, I genuinely wonder what kind of goodies she hands out for Halloween. Meghan then dumps peas from a cute container into the larger basket for visual aesthetics. As someone who appreciates practicality, I would have preferred the cute little basket itself. But Meghan is all about optics, showing off again her refined taste over practicality. She tosses Archie's eggs in there for good measure, presumably for authenticity points. Next, she changes into yet another beige ensemble because we've discovered Meghan is a chameleon who adjusts her clothing choices based on her guests. Notice how with Chef Roy and Ramon, she wore black outfits, likely to match the professional chef attire. Everyone else, beige, all day, every day. Then Meghan presents store-bought croissants that she decants into a basket for presentation. She highlights that Vicky prefers sweet creamer with her coffee, even though Meghan herself doesn't drink coffee. Another subtle better than you hint that Meghan likely only drinks champagne because she opens one every single episode. Now this is where it gets interesting because she makes sweet creamer by mixing milk, condensed milk, and vanilla bean, but her milk is naturally in a glass milk bottle. I'm like, where did this come from? Did Montecito magically resurrect milk delivery services from the 1950s? Does Montecito have a milkman? Did Meghan milk a cow at sunrise? Or did Meghan simply transfer store-bought milk into a prettier container for aesthetic control? My guess is the latter, which points to Meghan's need of control in every minor detail, a hallmark of her brand at this point. Then Meghan makes a sweet creamer while whipping it with a handheld frother, proudly informing us that it can also froth eggs. Groundbreaking discovery, Meghan. Thank you for reading the packaging instructions out loud, because clearly none of us could have figured that out. Demonstrating once again why she struggles to carry a show. Her commentary insults the intelligence of viewers, constantly stating the painfully obvious. Next, we get a genuinely entertaining oops moment as her milk nearly spills over. Meghan saves it, calls it a result of beautiful pillow of creamy goodness. Cue the eye roll. Seriously, Meghan, sometimes milk is just milk. At this point, Meghan opens her perfectly curated fridge, filled with unlabeled jars, fresh herbs and water, and aesthetically pleasing cardboard containers of fruit. Her presentation is immaculate, yet completely impractical. further reinforcing the idea that she lives for control and image rather than functionality. Then we reach cringe moment of the episode. Vicky arrives and Meghan eagerly serves the coffee with homemade creamer. Vicky shares that she used to work for Starbucks corporate, but was only allowed to take out trash because she was terrible as a barista. Meghan, desperately to match the energy and fit in, counters with her own tale of waitressing failure at a Chicago bar where she got demoted to coach check girl. It's painfully obvious she's seeking validation as she intensely stares at Vicky, sipping coffee, waiting for praise. Later, as they cook dumplings, another PR buzzword alert. Vicky starts talking about friendship and community. That was scripted, I can assure you that, because the keywords that demonstrate another telltale PR pattern repeatedly emphasizing friendship and community. These buzzwords appear relentlessly throughout this series. From a PR lens, repetition aims to override her public reputation for being a difficult, divisive person. Forget what you heard. Meghan builds friendships and Meghan loves community. This calculated message aims to repair her damaged image, though it falls short due to obvious insincerity. As they cook, Meghan obviously uses chopsticks to fill her dumplings, yet showcasing another skill she's desperate to be praised for, much like her questionable Spanish. Vicky predictably showers her with compliments, feeding Meghan's insatiable ego. We're then shown Meghan making chili oil, yet again speaking directly to her producer instead of the audience. It's almost as if Meghan forgets there are people watching. From a PR perspective, she's missing an opportunity to connect with the viewers. Her inability to engage directly with the camera makes the series feel distant and like we're watching her through her kitchen window, reinforcing my feeling that this show isn't meant for regular folks like you and I. It's made for a select few to admire her from afar, like a princess. When it's time to flip the dumplings, Meghan and Vicky awkwardly wait for staff members to deliver a heavy marble plate, making flipping impossible. It's clear Meghan is used to having others serve her, yet another sign of detachment from reality. Then she sprinkles from what I can see looks like saffron on the dumplings, casually throwing around one of the most expensive spices. Who does that? Someone trying way too hard to impress, that's who. But if that is not saffron, you guys can correct me in the comments below. The episode wraps up with tea, masks, and cringe-inducing mutual praise. Vicky dramatically thanks Meghan for her friendship and claims she couldn't have gone where she is without her, despite being wildly successful already when they met. It's vague, empty praise with no real substance. Another theme throughout Meghan's series. Vague, hollow praise without specifics. Meghan's signature style, and sadly, Vicky played along. So I want to show you this last clip because this was the cringiest moment of the entire episode. Vicky, in her infinite wisdom, declares that Meghan and Vicky from 10 years ago would be proud of themselves. And Meghan counters with the groundbreaking, mind-blowing, where will we be in the next 10 years? Vicky's face, it's just like she witnessed a unicorn reciting Shakespeare while tap dancing. The sheer unadulterated originality of Meghan's thought process was clearly too much for Vicky to handle. I mean, who could have predicted that? Groundbreaking stuff, guys.
I think the Meghan and Vicky of 10 years ago would be very proud.
I agree. And then the question is, 10 years from now, where on earth are we going to be? Where are we going to be? I don't even know, but it's going to be fantastic.
When people comment vaguely, I enjoy Meghan's show, I struggle to understand that because tell me how you relate. What specific resonates? Give me something more than vague positivity. But Meghan's entire show thrives on vague statements designed to paint her in a positive light. friendship and community without evidence. It's a PR manipulation at its finest. And there you have it, folks. Yet another episode filled with superficial nonsense, vague praise, and Meghan's ceaseless pursuit of validation from the privileged circle she so desperately wants to belong to. It's clear she wants us to forget all the negative publicity she's garnered by repeatedly emphasizing friendship and community. All right, everyone, I can't finally wait to conclude this series. We got one more episode left. Let me know your detailed thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you all for watching. Let me know your thoughts below, and please subscribe for more unfiltered analysis. Until next time, bye.